Boom ID could be in a spot of trouble. We've seen it work out quite well. It takes a lot to really pull that off perfectly, but and you have to be at the right spots, of course. Choke points, ramps, stairways. That's where it's really the most effective. But if you get that positioning right, get that combination off, it's very, very potent. And it's really not too hard to steal the vac. It's not even too hard to steal the wall. So, I'm looking forward to see how far Lotac can take that Rubik. And they shake things up a bit more again. Morphling pickup for Lotac. Really interesting pick. Not sure if you're really going to be happy switching into any of these heroes. I think the Morphling by itself is going to do a lot of damage here. But I guess you can switch into Sven, give Warcry to all your allies. That's pretty nice to have. You could switch into Darkseer, give yourself Iron Shell, I guess, or Surge, stuff like that.
Not to mention the Rage.
Nothing like, yeah, the Rage is pretty. I guess that's what you're gonna have to aim for every time. Take a Life Stealer, Rage yourself, free BKB. By level 6, it's basically a free BKB, so it's a nice pickup from Lotac. Definitely not the pick I expected, but should be interesting to see. I believe this is going to be Skem's hero, and we'll see how he plays out this time around, if he's still going to go for that farm focus, or if he's going to be applying a little bit more pressure early on.
Well, let's see how they close this out. Looks like they need a mid-core. In fact, both teams do.
10 seconds remaining.
But do they end up giving Chuan this time around?
5 seconds remaining.
Last game, of course, we saw the Shadow Fiend come out, and it's not really like Chuan did a bad job. It's just Boom ID just seems to get online faster. Core Rubik? It's not.
You know what, Mike? Maybe it's going to be a Core Elder Titan on the offlane. I think we've seen Ohio play that once. I think we have seen him play that once. Maybe while he was on
10 seconds
SGD.
remaining.
Is that really gonna pay off though? Like, there's not really a necessity for a core elder. Oh my.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Yeah, no. It's gonna be interesting. Like it's for sure gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a mid Clinks. Mikado on that Clinks. It does look like it will be Ohio on the Razor. So, what is their core? Is it gonna be? It's a core Rubik.
We'll find out. Just wait to see what Chuan picks up. I love core Rubik, John. You know me. I love seeing Rubik in the mid. Just put him on the mid Rubik. Do it. Yamate's on the Oracle.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's a mid Rubik.
Yeah, no way it's gonna be a safe lane Rubik. So yeah, it's probably gonna be mid Rubik. I'm not sure about this, Mike. I have to tell you, I'm really not sure. I would have been fine if Lotac had last pick to go with that Oracle, run the Rubik mid, would have caught Boom ID by surprise. It's a Rubik facing off against a Clinks. Now, Rubik's not a very tanky hero. Clinks pumps out a lot of physical damage early on. I mean, sure, you can kind of burn him down with 8-ball, but it's much easier for Clinks to keep up his harass with just searing arrows. So I do worry a bit for Lotac here in that mid matchup specifically. Based on draft, it could go either way. Again, Lotac does seem to want to take their time here again with the heroes they have, especially, Skem's Morphling. Of course, you want some farm on that Morphling before you're active, so it does look like they're going to have to slow down the game for Skem. Boom ID does look like they have to keep up that aggression they had in the first game, and I'm interested to see if, just changing out this hero for Skem, changing out their lineup a bit, will shake things up for Lotac. Will they be able to buy enough space for Skem to farm up? Well, we'll find out, Mike.
We don't see Clinks come out in the pro scene that often anymore, do we? Like, it's not just me. We don't see this hero anymore. This hero is considered garbage, right?
It's definitely not had a shining moment, especially with the changes to his ultimate. Really, kind of made him funky. I have to say it's strange. I don't believe we've seen him since his rework, Mike, but I feel like it's popped out a couple of times just to mess around with it. And I believe he actually had a couple of bugs on his ultimate as well before. I do recall an issue with the damage type coming out from the statues. I believe they were piercing at some point. I feel like those issues have been fixed, but
yeah,
there were certain issues. Yeah, no, I feel like it was in the patch notes, Mike. I'm just not sure if it was really fixed. I mean, I haven't seen a Reddit stink about it in a while, so I'm
Oh.
assuming it's fixed.
It must be fixed then.
One would hope, Mike. But yeah, it's definitely not here. It's popped out. I'm checking the data right now. It's popped out 5 times so far in the past few months, and it has won 3 out of 5 times, Mike. So hey,
Wow.
it's worked in those 3 times out of 5.
Excellent.
Maybe this is gonna work out for Boom. Push that stat up to 4 wins and 2 losses over 6 games.
30
Those are
seconds
great
to
odds.
battle.
Great odds for Boom ID with that Clinks pick. Makoto. Probably gonna have a decent time. Like, against the mid Rubik, you already said it, but Rubik's not a very tanky hero. And Clinks loves like versing these kind of heroes where they just can't really defend themselves against the searing arrows.
I do like this pick as well because, you know, it kind of makes Ohio think hard. Who's he gonna go for with that static link? Is he gonna link up the Lifestealer? Is he gonna link up Mikato's Clinks? Because both of these guys pump out a lot of physical damage, of course. So he's gonna have to choose one or another in the middle of these team fights. You can only link one until you buy a refresher orb, I guess. Then you could link both, but that's gonna be a while. It's definitely not something that's happening the first 30 minutes. So target prioritization is gonna be a bit iffy there for Lotac. We'll find out as the game goes on, Mike.
Yep, certainly so. Chuan already getting to experience a bit of what's to come. Those searing arrows. Of course, the Fadebot can be very annoying as well towards the Clinks, but not really that spammable as an ability. We'll keep an eye out on Makoto and Chuan. See where they end up. Top lane, we do have Yamate on that Oracle. Of course, he will be there with Skem. They'll be up against FBZ and Kescute on that Sven. One of those combos as well. It's not a nice one to have to go up against, right? Like, you surge the Sven in, he'll throw out the Storm Hamper, put on the Iron Shell, and suddenly, you know, you're copying so much damage on the side of Lotac. Not going to be a fun lane.
It's definitely not. And it's going to be really hard to contest for the most part. I mean, Morphling really just wants to farm for the most part. And he does do a lot of physical damage, Skem, but, you know, once that Warcry is up on our Sven, it's not going to be as effective as you'd want.
They're copying a fair bit of damage right now, Kescute. Yamate being a bit frustrating towards him, but Kescute will be okay. Of course, this does just allow FBZ to free farm on that Darkseer and eventually start creep skipping with the Iron Shell level 2. Bot lane, of course, Ohio and Raven are there up against Jokam and Fervian on that Lifestealer once again. See how much Ohio can do to shut down this Lifestealer. Mid lane, looks like Makoto actually going to find himself in a lot of trouble, but Chuan didn't have any mana left for another Fade Bolt. It was on cooldown anyway. Makoto will have a moment to salve up and get back up to full HP. Chuan, he really only has a Tango left. So he's going to have to try and stay back a bit. Courier is going to bring him out of salve, however, so he'll be alright as well. Those searing arrows, man, they make it so hard to stay in the lane. Looks like bot lane, however, there will be a bit of an engagement. Ohio finds himself in trouble and will end up going down to Fervian. Jokam as well falling quite low, but he'll turn around with the shackles. And with that, Raven should end up losing his own life, and Fervian ends up getting him 2-0 already for the side of Boom ID.
Yeah, good start for Boom. They managed to get pretty much the kill they want. Ohio is definitely one of those. Yeah, you know, Razor's a tempo core who wants to have a good start. You slow down that good start, Razor doesn't really have that great catch-up tools, especially if you don't invest the points in Plasma Field. So slowing down Ohio at this point in the game will just kind of slow down his power spikes, which is really what you want when you're Boom ID. Slow down this early start that Lotac wants to have on certain cores to buy time for Skem. If they can't buy time for Skem, I mean, you saw it in the last game. It just doesn't work out.
Fervian, a lot of damage being sapped from him thanks to Ohio, and now trying to get himself out of the situation he's landed himself in. They are going to all make the chase, though Kescute is there with the Storm Hammer to slow them down, and it looks like Fervian should be able to taunt his way out of there. And he does manage to do so. However, this does allow Lotac to waste a lot of Fervian's time in this laning stage. And Well, so far so good. Like, you look at Skem's last hits, top of the last hits board. Look at Fervian. He's kind of close, but he's not really there right now.
Yeah, he's definitely not having as good of a time in this lane as he was in the last games. But, you know, all things considered, it's not as bad. He forced the two supports to rotate down, stay in this lane to kind of test him. So that does open up the mid lane, that does open up the top lane for your course to farm better there, and I guess we'll see if that does pay off as the game goes on.
Well, they're going to maintain this tri-lane. In fact, Boom ID will run one of their own as well. Do get started on Ohio. Stormhammer will be there to follow up on the shackles, and Ohio loses way too much HP. We'll end up going down to Fervian once again. Now Jocam making the chase, trying to find somebody else. Kescute really has no mana left though. They will just have to let the other two go. So expect Fervian to now start farming up as he did last game on that lifestealer. So again, we move back to the mid lane where Chuan and Mikoto are still fairly even. Mikoto is starting to pull ahead slowly, but Chuan has managed to keep up on this Rubik in terms of last hits.
Yeah, he definitely has, and I believe that's the career prioritization that he gets to have. He's just been ferrying himself to regen every time, making sure he can upkeep the spam of Fade Vault.
Bot lane, Ohio, he does manage to get Jocam, but ends up losing his own life. Certainly not worthwhile if you are the core Razor to get a support kill for the cost of your own. Fervian, full HP, just more than happy to sit there and keep farming up. There's just really not much these supports of Lotac can do about this. Raven tries to do some harassment, but ends up copying a lot more. Just never a smart idea to try and trade if you're a melee support against the lifestealer.
Yeah, it usually doesn't end up very well.
They will make the chase onto Raven as well, and well, Ohio going to try and help out, but Fervian's already found the kill. Now the Stormhammer as well to make sure Fervian can get out of there safely. And Kescute to get the hell back. But nevertheless, a 5-1 now, 6.5 minutes into this game. Certainly looking like the last game, I've got to tell you.
It does feel that way, although this time around I feel like Skem does have a bit of a better start. He is pretty much top of net worth. I'm top of the CS right now, just behind the Darkseer, but that is a Darkseer who is also pretty much given free reign in lane. So that is kind of expected, but we'll see if, again, if that does pay off. It does take a while for Morphling to bounce into that mid game when his power spike's amazing. Takes at least one big item, maybe two, to really be effective.
Chuan making a rotation down to the bot lane. Fervian getting sapped right now by Ohio, and they will actually go for the courier. He won't quite get there. So close though. 18 HP left on that chicken. This rotation as well coming out from Lotac. I'm not actually sure if they're going to find anything out of this. Rest of Boom ID just circling that mid tier 1 tower right now. Raven is there to try and defend, but he is surrounded. They are going to start chasing him down. Jocam not quite getting there in time. Chuan does return to the mid lane now, and we'll start the chase onto Jocam. And it looks like the Shadow Shaman has just been stuck in the tree line. We'll end up going down on a nice little pickup there from Lotac. FBZ will now get spotted out by Raven. That Elder Titan stomp will not connect. A nice dodge from FBZ. Should be able to just walk his way out of there safely. In fact, he will go for the TP play, but Chuan is there. He does get the lift in time. That's a nice pickup coming out. Skem even gets the kill confirm on the Morphling. 5-3 now, 8.5 minutes in.
Definitely a better target than Shadow Shaman. They do lose out on Ohio's Razor once again. Nice rotation coming out from Mikoto there. But, you know, at the very least you got that Darkseer, you gave it to Skem. All in all, again, the investments are all going back to Skem. And at this time around, he is getting a bit of a better start. Morphling, again, just takes a while to come online. So even if he has this good start, it's gonna be a while till we see that good start bear fruit. Really.
Raven gonna find Kezcute. So Kezcute actually finds him, and now with Jokam there as well, this should be a kill, although the stomp, it will not go through, or will it? They will find the kill. Scam gets Jokam. The wall was already dropped as well, so no need to be afraid of that either. They will get started on the static link with FBZ. Meanwhile, though, Makoto gets started on Chuan and takes him out immediately, and now Ohio will be the target on the Razor. FBZ continuing the chase, the stomp will do a pretty nice job in stopping the backline. FBZ actually going too far, but apparently not. They will end up finding Ohio, and they will continue the chase with the Stormhammer onto Scam. Shackles will be there as well, and Boom ID. Really just playing all around Lotac that engagement, finding quite a few kills for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about how Scam has had a better start in the last game. I mean, just one kill can kind of change that tone. And right now he's only maintaining 100 gold ahead of Fervian, which is really not the most amazing gold lead ever, especially considering that Fervian is going to have his Midas up fairly soon. I think it's supposed to be on the courier, it's just not flying out to him yet.
Well, Kezcute ends up finding Raven as well. Raven was trying to go for the deny by going into the tier 2 tower, but at the very least, Kezcute does stay within XP range to be able to get that. With that Lotac, they're going to start pushing in the mid-tier 1 tower now with Scam. So an immediate response will come out from Boom ID, and FBZ wants to get started on Scam, though he does try to make it obvious he's there. Looks like he was just more than happy for Scam to back off and get back to farming. Speaking of farming, Fervian, although they gave him a really tough time in that bot lane, is still top of the net worth board and has just picked up that Midas, so expect that to increase even more.
Yeah, his timing's still pretty much on point. A while ago, again, that gap between him and Scam was pretty tight, just 100 gold ahead for Scam. Now he's just pulled away. With that Midas pickup, his farm's just going to accelerate, and he's going to be active in the map. He doesn't slow down even if he's needing to farm that Radiance up. He does pop in for these kills, whereas Scam's playstyle is a bit, it's less proactive. It's a bit more focus on farm, focus on taking that lane CS, where and when he can.
Mid lane, they will get started. They found FBZ, but can they burst him down? He's already dropped the wall, and FBZ makes a run for it. Iron Shell was stolen by Chuan, but that's not going to really do much in this engagement. With that, looks like Boom ID more than happy to just go back and farm up a bit more. Lotac will start pushing in that mid a bit, but they won't really bother. Kezcute will be there to defend with the Sven. Kodo, top lane, will end up finding Yamate on that Oracle and will just burst him down. No way for the Oracle to survive that. He doesn't even have the false promise yet. So Makoto, more than happy to claim his life. Scam, gonna make his way up. Makoto, not really sure what kind of item build he'll go for on this Clinks, because we really don't see it that often, but I imagine an Orchid wouldn't be too bad up against that Morphling. FBZ and end up finding Ohio, backs him in, although nice lift comes out from Chuan and Makoto still helping out. FBZ will be able to surge his way out of there. Now Fervian comes in. They're going to go after Ohio. He will go for the immediate TP play and should be fine, but my goodness, those right clicks from Makoto, they really do hurt with those searing arrows.
Oh yeah, it's definitely...
They do find Jokam mid lane, however. So a nice little play from Lotac. They do get to punish at least one of the supports of Boom ID in that mid lane. But now their bot tier 1 is being pushed in. The question is, do they go and defend this, or do they just take the time and farm up?
Honestly, I feel like bot tier 1, not the most important tower to defend. You should really just farm up. I mean, Scam's basically just farming up anyway. It's Lotac. I mean, they should show a bit of, they should show some people in the map to at least take that lane CS, because there is still some to be had. But they definitely shouldn't throw bodies for this tier 1 bot. It's, again, really not the most important tower to maintain. And if you lose that, you're not losing too much on map control.
For the moment, we do remain at 11-5, 14 minutes into the game. Scam does look to be going for an S and Y build on this Morphling.
Dire are scanning.
And make his way down to that bot lane where they will find FBZ, but again, he's a very, very hard target to try and go for on that Darkseer. And it looks like the only reason Lotac's really here though is to go for that tier 1 tower, and they will be able to claim it. Nice little win for them.
Bottom tower has fallen.
None of Boom ID very interested whatsoever in trying to defend that.
Yeah, again, it's down to that tier 1 bot. It's really not
Is under attack.
too important. I mean, I guess for the Radiant's a bit more important.
They will get started. Earthsplitter is there on Makoto, though he will be able to just run away, and now a nice double stun coming out from Jokam. Haya was again trying to chase the Darkseer, but not the target they can go for, and they do lose the mid-tier 1 tower in the process.
Radiant are
So
scanning.
in the end, Boom ID, they get what they came for. They lose nobody and they get nobody, but they're more than happy with that.
Radiant's bottom tower
Looks like Fervin is going to make a chase onto Yamate bot lane, but he has no way to cancel that TP off. With that, again, we just go back to that point where both teams just trying to take tier 1s and farm up a bit. I'm kind of shocked to say as well that Skem isn't just farming right now, he is with his team. They do start up higher, but perhaps they feel confident to make the push right here, right now. Stomp will get the Shadow Shaman, and Ohio will move forward immediately. Although a nice vac comes out, they will be able to find Jokam regardless, and now they want to go for more. Skem morphs into the Sven, wants to get that Stormhammer off whenever he can, and it looks like the Stomp will lock it up. Static Link as well, so Lotac do manage to get a T1 and 2 hero kills. Not a bad little win for them.
middle tower is under attack.
Definitely so. Nice clean kills. Granted, it's on 2 supports, but you take that tier 1 mid, which, again, kind of evens out the control you have in that Roche area. So, you know, you losing your tier 1 mid is kind of negated now.
Look, Lotac just wanting to back off for the moment. Fervian continuing to farm up himself, although he is very, very close to getting that full Radiance up now. Has enough for the Sacred Relic. Looks like they want to go after the Ohio kill. And smoke up and rush in. Though drums are there on Ohio, it doesn't look like it'll really matter. They even drop the wards just in case. It looks like Ohio will just end up dying. And with those wards, you can go after the tier 1 bot tower as well. In fact, Makoto joins in. And that'll be a nice little tier 1 cleanup for the side of Boom ID. By the way, it does seem like Makoto has opted to actually go for the Diffusal Blade on that Clinks.
Dire's bottom
Yeah, that's reasonable enough. That does pump your damage out by a fair amount and gives you some form of control.
With BZ. They're rooted into plays. They do have the Surge stolen as well. A nice wall being placed. It won't do too much for his sake, but it looks like he will be able to surge his way out eventually. Fervian may turn around, but he's being static linked up. They will manage to get Raven on that Earth Spirit. Well, excuse me, the Elder Titan. Skem still trying to make a run for it. It looks like Ohio fell very low in those Ancients. Want to have a go at him, but he will get to the Shrine, and he will be okay. So Boom ID, get an Elder Titan, do manage to back off the safety. And I mean, FBZ had some very nice vacs there as well. Just making sure they could never really engage safely on the side of Boom ID.
Yeah, definitely so. I just feel like we haven't seen the ideal back wall come out yet from Boom ID, but that's just down to how they've been throwing out these walls. It's been much more defensive come out from Boom ID. Definitely nothing that's really situated for the offense. Just really dropping that wall to buy themselves an escape route, or, you know, just slow down the pursuit, which is perfectly fine. I think Boom ID can afford to do that right now. I am a bit worried to how much space they've given Skem. Skem has been farming quite well for himself, barely just matching a Lifestealer, about 500, 400 gold behind, and he has opted for a bit more of an active build. SNY is already up. BKB is going to be up in the next, I don't know, 5 to probably 10 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. It's really fast uncontested, but he will have that BKB up, and after that, it's going to be a slight issue for Boom ID, as they have no real way of holding Skem down.
Dire's under attack.
They'll go for the tier 2 top tower again. Serpent wards are available. Seemed rather quick that they're available, but perhaps he had an arcane root at the time. They will go after the Darkseid, however. FBZ sticking around a bit too long, and Skem does manage to clean him up. Does have the full Sergeant Yasha up as well on that Morphling, and we'll be going for a BKB up next.
Radiant are scanning.
Kescute. You're right. He does have Yamate running into him, but it's just a warding mission right now. Yamate actually gets spotted out, placing wards down, and will end up losing his life, as well as his wards, it looks like. In fact, no, he will be able to walk his way out, but the wards certainly aren't very safe. Ohio, though, gets surged in and wants to try and go for something here, though Fervian comes in, and this doesn't look like a good plan from the side of Lotac. The Radiance is also up on Fervian right now. They do manage to take the bounty rune, but it's not going to be worthwhile if you lose your whole team. But Skem actually man-fighting. We'll get FBZ on that Morphling. Very nice pick-off for him, and Lotac suddenly looking like the much stronger team.
Yeah, just a nice pick off again. That wall was pretty nice coming out from our Darkseer this time around, but just not having the impact needed. Again, I think this comes down to how staggered that fight was. Boom ID just felt like they weren't quite in position to really punish Lotac's aggression there, and instead they pay for it with FBC's life, which is really not ideal. You kind of want your Darkseer around, of course, in these full-on fights. He's a lot of control that you're relying on right now, and just having him disappear is much, much less than ideal.
Now Fervian, again, going in by himself, but Ohio just saps all his damage. Why are you even turning around, Fervian? You're dealing no damage. You're probably healing him up right now. Although in the back lines, again, Boom ID getting caught out. A nice stun coming out, but it's not going to be quite enough. And Kescute goes down as well as Jocam. Fervian.
What? What? What?
How?
He was morphing. He was morphing back to full agi. Forgot the radiance was there. We all make mistakes, Mike. Some of them a bit costlier than others, but we all make mistakes.
Being denied.
Oh my. I mean, fair enough. I guess the pressure, sets in, and like you said, sometimes you make a bit of a mistake. Shit happens, as we say in Australia, John.
That was just a bit surreal to watch. I just saw his HP going down. I was like, no way. Maybe a bit of a misclick. Rather unfortunate, really.
It is unfortunate, and of course the tips were coming out from Boom immediately after that happened.
Oh god. Okay. Still looking pretty good for Lotac. I mean, it's less than 1k lead for Boom ID, and again, most of that is riding on Fervian. Most of that network is on Fervian. Everyone else is, honestly not doing too well. Mikado has kind of fallen behind, just not getting the farm he needs, and honestly his impact has felt minimal since hitting the, 15-minute mark is when it started to feel a bit less than intimidating for this Clinks.
Oh, Mikado gets caught out. Probably should end up falling, and he does. Mikado had a good start, but suddenly that Clink's starting to drop off. Lotac definitely taking advantage of that. 14-12 now, 23 minutes into this game. I don't know, it just feels like anyone's game right now. Like, both sides understand that they need to get their farm up faster than the other one, but it does feel like Lotac later on in this game do have an advantage over the Boom ID draft.
Yeah, I definitely don't disagree with you there. Of course, it's a Morphling going into the late game. It sounds a bit more potent than a Lifestealer and a Clinks, who are really mid-game oriented kind of carries. They spike up in, the 30 to 40 minute mark. Any longer than that, they kind of just taper off a bit. Whereas Morphling is always kind of scary, especially as you go towards that late game. It just gets kind of scary to deal with this kind of hero. So I feel like it is on Boom ID to really pressure Lotac right now. And honestly, I feel like they haven't quite done enough of that yet.
Again, starting to take over. Like, Fervian's still in front, but you kind of saw what happens if Ohio's there with the static link. Doesn't really seem to matter how much damage you've got or how much farm you've got. Fervian gonna start moving forward with the rest of his team. He's gonna be going for a Lincoln Sphere next, so he definitely wants to get the block off on that link. Otherwise, even the morph would be pretty good to block off. Fervian does spot out a Rubik, but would rather just go for the tier 2 mid tower, of course. But Ohio will rush in. The Hex was there, it was stolen by the Rubik, and now they're trying to burst Fervian down. Ohio, though, has caught himself between a rock and a hard place, and a back wall comes out as well. Nice Earth Splitter, but it doesn't really do too much damage. And Ohio, he'll start moving forward with that false promise, trying to get somebody. The FBZ is the target. He has no mana left to surge, but he just gets it, but the Hex again comes out from Chuan. And FBZ will end up going down to Ohio. They do end up losing their Oracle, but who the hell cares about that? They found a Clinks as well. Scam gonna deal the damage, and Makoto will end up going down to the Morphling, and now Fervian, however, he finds Ohio and he finds Scam on that Morphling. They kind of just came back out of nowhere, and I mean, they really like tipping Scam.
They certainly do, and oh man, like, I feel like I would have been very much okay with that trade for Lotac if they didn't lose Scam. The fact that Scam keeps dying in these exchanges is, it's less than ideal for Lotac, and that does mean Boom ID, you know, they still get to keep their pretty good momentum going, especially since they haven't lost Fervian at all.
Going back to this mid Rubik, how much impact do you feel like Chuan's had in this game so far?
Honestly, I feel like it's been minimal. I haven't seen him steal the big spells we were expecting. I haven't seen a stolen Vac come out into a stomp yet. Something that, I mean, granted, you know, that's not easy to do, but I feel like that's really where a lot of your potential lies, is on, you know, when you play Rubik on the bleeding edge, and you catch these combinations out that turn team fights for your team. And when you don't get them, it just feels underwhelming, even though, honestly, I feel like Chuan has done a pretty decent job. It's just not the slant, you know, it's not the big plays you come to expect from a hero like Rubik.
On the side of Lotac, trying to find a target to go for. FBZ may get caught out. No, in fact, it is Yamate that's in a bit of awkward position. Ohio will start the link up onto Fervian. Fervian will back off with the rage and be okay. Again, you just have this weird position now where neither team really feels that much stronger than the other one. Though I say that Fervian is starting to take over a bit on that lifestealer. They will get started on the Roshan now. Heaven's Halberd will come out onto Ohio. A great item up against that lifestealer and the Clinks for that matter. This couldn't be a better time for him to get it, but do they know the Roshan's going on? Well, surely they do, because they are running that way. Ohio, of course, the first one in. He will start the static link up onto the lifestealer, and he does take all the damage away from Fervian. In fact, even more than that. A nice sleep in the backlines as well, but Scam, nice Earth Splitter as well. Can they deal the damage, however? Kescute, he will be the one to go down first, although they find Joe Cam as well. The Shackles is there onto Scam. The False Promise as well. And, well, there's a lot of buybacks coming out from Boom ID right now. Ohio will get caught out. Chuan also ends up getting taken down. Scam, he's just trying to make a run for it. The rest of Boom ID making the chase. Joe Cam, he gets the surge. He wants that Hex, and he does find it. Has the Shackles available as well. Can they deal the damage, however? He does not have mana for the wave. In fact, no, he does now, but he's still going to end up going down by the looks of it. And with that, I mean, I can't say I wasn't expecting the tips to come out at this point, John. They seem to do it every single time. They did force out a lot of buybacks from Boom ID to get that job done, though.
Yeah, that was 2 buybacks. That is on Shadow Shaman and the Sven. On the bright side for Boom, those are your 2 supports buying back to secure those kills. I think that's very much worthwhile. Sure, you lose Mikato again, but you got the big targets in Ohio, you got the big target in Scam. You're definitely going to be happy. You're going to be able to take these towers too.
When they found Yamate again as well, Not the greatest of news for the side of Lotac. With that, they're going to go for the first racks of the game, but Ohio jumps in with the static link, but he may have given his life away for that. He doesn't have buyback available, and ooh, that is not great. Like, sure, you delay Fervian just a little bit, but I don't think they're going to mind too much. The mid lane's being pushed in as well, thanks to those Serpent Wards. So every lane right now is copping a lot of pressure from the side of Boom ID. And it's like, which one do you defend when you've only got 2 supports available? Well, now they've got a Morphling as well. But even then, it's like, I don't know, like, how much can Skem do on this Morphling at this point?
Feels like it's not going to be enough just yet. Even with that BKB and the SNY, he's just... It's just not doing enough yet. And it's a bit of an issue for Lotac. I feel like he needs a lot more to come online. At least the Scotty coming out, just to help him out with the stats. Maybe after a Butterfly, he's going to be a bit more comfy. Maybe after the E-Blade, if he does opt for that, it's going to be a bit more comfy. Right now, sure, he can survive these fights very, very long, but the damage output is just not as amazing as you'd expect.
Well, both shrines being lost for the side of Lotac, as well as 2 Raxes, one in the mid, one in the bot. Only 1 Rax left. In fact, the Roshan is still up. I didn't even realize that, but it is still available to be taken. Of course, Lotac can't really afford to give that Aegis away to the side of Boom ID. They will apply that pressure around the Roche pit. There will be a smoke, however, coming out from Boom, and in fact, who have they found there? It is Fervian, but this does look like a bit of a bait, and it is. Ohio jumps in, but the back wall was there. Now they stun him up as well. False Promise will keep him alive long enough to steal even more damage, but he's copping a hell of a lot himself, and he should just end up dropping after that False Promise, surely. In fact, no, but no, the Infest does get the job done. It's a lot of deaths coming up for Lotac. This could be GG well played, John. They've got no buybacks available apart from Skem. There's 1 Rax left. It looks like Chuan has been trying to creep skip a bit, but they're pointing at the tier 4s now on the side of Boom ID. They can smell the miner just a moment away from them. And with that, the Mega Creeps will be the target. The pigs are coming out. Happy New Year indeed. Tier 3 will be going down. Can they stop this? Ohio, he can't afford to die right now, but it looks like he has no choice in this. He does end up going down, and it's a dieback for him. Skem trying to do the best he can, but that is 1 down fast lifestealer, and he will find Chuan surely. The Yules will be there, but it won't be enough. He does get taken down. Tier 4s are still open for the taking. There's currently 2 Nexus chasing each other. Skem gonna try and man fight this. He's actually doing a lot of damage to Fervian, who rages up, wants to hit somebody but can't hit anybody right now. In fact, he finds Chuan, he'll find Skem as well, and he heals himself back up throughout all that. Skem's still trying to fight throughout all this madness. He actually goes to Agimorph, and I don't know if that's gonna help the cause. He does end up going down. That's a GG core coming out as well. John, was that the second time that happened? Did I just, am I blind? Did I just see something, or?
I mean... I think that was definitely on False Promise. I think whether or not he shifted his strength was your
right,
but
okay.
Really unfortunate showing for Lotac. Definitely a bit better than game 1, I have to say. Felt like there was a bit more fight in Lotac here, a bit more bite coming out from their gameplay, but not quite enough to overthrow. Again, the favors of this matchup. I mean, Boom ID is basically always gate kept by Mineski, by Fnatic, by TNC, and when those guys are out, it tends to be Boom that's favored in Southeast Asia, and they do show us why that is the case here so far. Lotac, they've made it far, not quite there yet, unfortunately. Going 2-0 against Boom, it's really not, it's nothing to really be too sad about. This again, Boom ID is just a step below those 3 big names in Southeast Asia. Hopefully there's next time for Lotac, but congrats to Boom to once again making it to a minor. Hopefully we'll see some good performance out of them representing Southeast Asia, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck to Boom ID in the minor. Of course, John, we will be back in probably about, how much time is it? What, like 12 hours
11
from now?
hours.
11 hours from now. We'll be back to cast South American qualifiers, John. We've never done that before.
I'm looking forward to it, Mike. I get to use a little bit of Spanish I know and a little bit of Portuguese I know. just very tiny, just enough to insult people
we're
and
trying to
say hello.
we're trying to make good first impressions to the region, John. We don't need to.
You gotta speak their language, Mike, and speak their language. You gotta be comfy.
No, fair enough. Thank you, John. Well, in that case, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, John. It's time for us to go play some auto chess. For you guys, enjoy the Dota over the coming days. We'll see you guys very, very soon.